You're listening to the Monday Night Community Show with Daniel on BRFM.
We're now joined with Inspector Steve Seabrook from the Marine Unit in Sheerness. Firstly, welcome along to the show. It's good to speak to you again.
Thank you, Daniel. Thanks very much for inviting me back. I think it was before Christmas that was on last time.
Yeah, I think it was actually. Yeah.
It's good to be here.
I was wondering, could you tell us, is there anything new, anything happened since we last spoke?
Well, yes, we've been very fortunate. We've been able to take on 2 new volunteer workers, and they're working out of Sheerness Police Station in support of our work. And currently they're involved in a pilot project that we've started on the Isle of Sheppey, and this is looking at mapping and identifying all of the marine and maritime contacts all around the island. So whether that's from a yacht club or a leisure interest group, a statutory body, property or business on the water's edge, looking to identify all of those people, because of course the shoreline is their backyard. It's where they live, play, work and recreate, and we want to understand more about what's happening in the island in a marine context. So our new volunteers, Brian and Anne, started just 2 weeks ago. So if you receive a telephone call from them asking about what you do in the marine context, that'll be why, and it's helping fill out this database of contacts. So if we have an incident, for example, somewhere on the Isle of Sheppey, we know who the local people are who may be able to assist us with advice or knowledge about the specific local area.
So Steve, what are the Marine Unit doing for the Olympics?
Well, the Olympics. Well, this is quite a big piece of work, and we're doing several bits and pieces. Primarily, we're putting on, in partnership with our colleagues in Essex, a 24/7 marine response in the River Thames, and this is being worked under the command of the Metropolitan Police. And what we're looking to do is to screen traffic that is going up the Thames to prevent terrorist threat from that avenue. I would stress that there's no intelligence or evidence at this stage of any such threat in substance, but it's a good precaution to take, wise to do on the run up to the Olympics, and we've been preparing for that. And as I say, that's on a 24/7 basis. But in addition to that, we'll be putting on boats to continue our sort of normal business as usual. There is a perceived concern that vessels that might be going up to the River Thames that are turned away because of the lack of berths that there are in the Thames could come into the Medway. And while we think that's probably going to be quite limited, we'll be putting on a patrol in the Medway area in Kent in order to sort of look at those problems should they arise. But I'm quite confident that will be safely managed. But our work carries on as usual in all sorts of things that we do, in boarding vessels out in the estuary, or being required to come inland and search lakes and waterways, for example, for missing people. So lots to do and lots to train to be ready for it too.
We are joined with Inspector Steve Seabrook from the Marine Unit in Sheerness here at BRFM on the Monday Night Community Show. We're talking at the moment to Inspector Steve Seabrook from the Marine Unit in Sheerness. What's the progress of the Olympic training, Steve?
Okay, well, in addition to the sort of tactics that we're going to implement, we've got to get all of our staff up to speed and qualified in the various sort of disciplines. Over the last year, we've taken on 2 new full-time staff, 2 more reserves, and of course me as the manager as well. And all of us need to be trained so that we're fully qualified to comply with the MCA rules around safe navigation, and also to properly understand the marine environment and how to drive a boat. So currently we're going through quite an intense program of training. This begins with a 1-day sea survival training, which I can tell you is the worst day swimming you've ever had in your life. Right. There's a rib capsize drill course that we go through, which is not much more fun, and there's firefighting, which is very interesting. We do a 2-day first responder course, and that's a bit like advanced first aid with CPR and that sort of thing. Really important if we have a casualty out on the water and we need to administer first aid promptly, because of course the excellent help that we would get from the RLNI and other services will take some time to get there. In addition, we complete a marine radio course, and then we get into actually the boating proper, and that starts with a level 2 powerboat course overseen by the RYA. Followed by a day skipper course, so that all the officers understand how to navigate and to move safely in the marine environment. And then finally, that's topped off with an advanced powerboat course for all those very fine skills required for using a police boat safely. So all in all, that comes out to a staggering 49 days worth of training per officer in addition to their normal duties. So a lot of our time at the moment is spent in training. That's going to pay off in the Olympics, because we'll have people that are qualified and capable to do their job properly then, but also of course post the Olympics, and we'll have all our staff fully trained and with a full set of skills to carry on doing the job as normal.
Now, I understand the Marine Specialist Constable team are training in cross-decking and also supporting to the MPA.
Yes, I appreciate cross-decking. Sounds like something rather strange from Wicks, doesn't it? But let me explain. I think it was a few weeks ago you had Lee Waters and Adam Houghton.
Yeah, that's right.
From the Marine Special Constable team. Excellent team of 9 officers, and as you know, they're volunteers working alongside us from Sheerness. They've been working alongside staff from the Medway Ports Authority. You're probably aware that the bylaws in the River Medway are in the jurisdiction of the Medway Ports Authority and not the police. But we've been working alongside the MPA when they've been putting boats out, putting the Marine Special Constable team officers on those boats so that they can talk to people that are causing problems in the water and help alleviate some of those problems. Hitherto, they've completed their sea survival training so they can be safe on the boat, and they'll come alongside other vessels with MPA staff to talk to people on the boat. But we need to take this a little further now. There will be opportunities where those officers are going to need to go from one boat to another. So that's what the cross-decking is. I know mariners out there will instantly recognise that expression, and essentially what the training we're going to be providing for them is for them to understand and recognise when it is safe for them to go from one boat to another in different weather conditions, when to realise it actually isn't safe to do that, and then how to do that transition safely without coming to any harm at all. So that's important, and that will support the ongoing work that will be continuing with the Medway Ports Authority.
We are talking to Inspector Steve Seabrook. He's from the Marine Unit in Sheerness. It's part of a regular slot we do where we can try and catch up with the Marine Unit here on the island. We're joined with Inspector Steve Seabrook from the Marine Unit here at BRFM. Steve, will your unit be involved in the Queen's Diamond Jubilee?
Well, not directly, no, but we will be sort of helping in the margins, if you like. The Queen's Diamond Jubilee, as you know, on the 3rd of June is a fantastic event to celebrate Her Majesty's reign. And if you're up on the marine procession that is envisaged, where there's something of the order of 1,000 vessels going in procession up the River Thames in London, obviously that's some way off of our normal territory, so we won't be directly involved in that activity actually as part of the procession or supporting it. But of course all of those vessels need to muster in advance, and after the event they will need to disperse, and of course a portion of those will come out of the River Thames out into the estuary, perhaps may overnight in the Medway. So I'm putting on patrols in the afternoon shifts of both the 2nd and 3rd of June, so that we're present in those waterways. If there are problems or difficulties, then we can assist people who've been involved in this fantastic event to get safely home. So that'll be our part during that event.
Are there any recent jobs you'd like to cover?
Well, there's a couple of things that we've been involved in recently. In some ways, some of them are very exciting and some of them are very sad. To give you some examples, very recently the Essex team were involved in searching for the body of a man who had fallen from the Queen Elizabeth Road Bridge into the River Thames. And the team in Kent from Sheerness were also working in the River Medway about a month ago, again to recover somebody who had fallen from the M2 road bridge into the water. Obviously both of these incidents are very tragic, and our role in these circumstances is to find where the person is and to recover their body with dignity, and also to provide the kind of forensic capture that is necessary in the investigation into a death which sadly is almost certain to occur when a person falls from such a height. On a more positive note, very recently we assisted the UK KBA locally in conveying them to a vessel where there were some issues around importation by the master, and I understand the UKBA have since seized that vessel, so we're very happy to work alongside that other agency to assist them in their work. So there's some of the sort of things that that we're regularly involved in, Daniel.
Steve, as always, I'd like to thank you very much for coming along and talking to us here at the Monday Night Community Show.
It's been a great pleasure. Thank you very much.
And we look forward to catching up with you soon.
I'd like that. Thank you.